Have you ever wondered why, even after eating healthy, walking daily, and doing everything right, your legs still feel weaker, stiffer, and heavier than before? Why climbing stairs feels harder, or standing up takes longer? Many seniors think this is just aging. But Dr. Arjun Mehra, with 30 years of experience in the US and India, reveals a hidden truth. Sometimes the very fruits we trust for health may quietly harm our legs. Yes, fruits, the same ones we've been told since childhood are always good. But as our bodies age, circulation slows, metabolism changes, and certain fruits can secretly trigger joint pain, swelling, and loss of strength. Pineapple, durian, grapes, even oranges, healthy for the young, may silently drain energy for those over 60. Imagine Uncle Ramesh in Delhi, who ate durian daily for strong muscles. Yet he kept waking with heavy legs and swollen ankles. When he cut back, his strength slowly returned. The lesson: not every fruit is right for every age. In today's video, I'll share the 7 fruits seniors must avoid, and also the healing alternatives that reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and bring back energy to your steps. Stay with me till the end, because just one small change in your fruit bowl could mean lighter mornings and steadier walks. If this message resonates, type 1 in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Your legs and your independence may depend on it. You may think fruits are always the safest food, but for seniors over 60, some of the most common fruits can quietly become poisons for your legs, joints, and circulation. 1. Durian. The first fruit on our list may surprise many of you. Durian. Across India and much of Asia, durian is celebrated as the king of fruits. Its creamy texture, sweet taste, and rich flavor make it a favorite for countless people. But for seniors over 60, this so-called king can quietly turn into a hidden enemy. The reason is simple. Durian is extremely high in calories, sugar, and fat. Just one small piece of durian can equal a full bowl of white rice. For someone over 60, eating too much causes blood sugar to rise quickly. The body then struggles to release insulin to bring sugar levels down. But as we age, insulin sensitivity weakens. This means durian can easily push you into blood sugar fluctuations, fatigue, and even worsen diabetes if eaten often. And that's not all. Durian is also loaded with fat. While younger bodies may burn it off, seniors tend to store it as extra weight. This adds stress on the heart, joints, and circulation. Many older adults notice that after enjoying several pieces of durian in the evening, they feel their heart racing, sleep poorly, and wake up the next morning with heavy legs and shortness of breath when climbing stairs. Let me share a simple story. Imagine Uncle Ram in Chennai. One summer evening, he sat with friends and happily finished half a durian. At first, he felt satisfied, full of energy. But later that night, his legs felt heavy, his body sluggish, and the next day, even walking to the market seemed like a big effort. He thought, it's just old age. But the truth is, his favorite fruit was quietly draining his strength. The danger of durian is that its effects are slow and silent. Each bite adds sugar spikes, hidden fat, and silent stress to the body. You don't notice it immediately, but month after month, year after year, the impact builds up. Until one day it shows up as chest pain, fatigue, or weaker legs. So, should seniors avoid durian completely? The answer is no. The key is moderation. If you truly love it, enjoy a few small pieces occasionally, but never overeat, especially at night or on an empty stomach. And most importantly, Listen to your body. If you feel restless, heavy, or your heart beating faster after eating, that's your body's way of saying, slow down. 2. Jackfruit. The second fruit on our list is one that many of us grew up loving. Jackfruit. Sweet, fragrant, and filling, jackfruit is often seen as a healthy treat. Families enjoy it fresh, dried, or even cooked in curries. It feels natural, wholesome, and harmless. But for seniors over 60, jackfruit can become another hidden challenge for your health. Why? Because jackfruit is packed with natural sugars and starch. One serving can raise blood sugar levels almost as quickly as a sugary dessert. For younger people, the body processes this sugar efficiently. But as we age, our metabolism slows, insulin response weakens, and this sudden spike can lead to fatigue, swelling, and inflammation in the joints. Many seniors notice that after eating jackfruit, they feel an unusual heaviness in their legs or a dull ache when walking short distances. Another problem is digestion. Jackfruit is heavy and fibrous. While that sounds healthy, for older stomachs it can cause bloating, gas, and discomfort. Imagine eating jackfruit in the evening only to spend the night feeling full, restless, and unable to sleep well. Over time, these digestive issues affect not only comfort but also mobility, because when the gut struggles, energy levels drop, making even daily activities feel harder. Take the story of Auntie Meena in Pune. She loved jackfruit and would enjoy it almost every week during the season. But she often complained of swollen ankles and stiffness in her knees. She thought it was just arthritis. When she reduced jackfruit and replaced it with lighter fruits, her swelling eased, and she found walking easier again. The connection was clear. Her healthy fruit was quietly adding to her pain. The danger with jackfruit is that it feels so natural and innocent. You don't realize that a few extra pieces can overload your system with sugar, upset digestion, and make your legs feel heavy the next morning. It doesn't strike immediately, but slowly. It chips away at strength and comfort. So, what should seniors do? Like with durian, the answer is not complete avoidance, but careful moderation. If you enjoy jackfruit, limit yourself to a small portion and avoid eating it late in the evening. Pair it with some protein, like nuts or yogurt, to help slow down the sugar release. Most importantly, pay attention to your body's signals. If you notice more stiffness, swelling, or bloating after jackfruit, it may be time to cut back. Jackfruit may be a delicious memory of youth, but for those over 60, it's a fruit best treated with caution. Enjoy it in small amounts, respect your body's limits, and you'll find better balance and strength in your daily steps. 3. Pomegranate. The third fruit on our list may surprise you because it is often praised as a superfood, pomegranate. Bright, red, and full of juice, pomegranate has been celebrated for centuries in India as a symbol of health, energy, and even vitality. Doctors often recommend it for heart health, and families love to give it to children and elders alike. But here's the hidden truth. For seniors over 60, eating too much pomegranate can quietly harm your joints and legs. The problem lies in its high content of natural acids and sugars. Each seed is small, but together they deliver a strong dose of fructose and citric acid. While this might not affect younger people, aging bodies with slower metabolism and weaker circulation can react differently. The acid can irritate sensitive joint tissues, while the sugar spikes blood glucose, fueling inflammation. Over time, this shows up as stiffness in the knees, pain in the hips, or a burning sensation in the feet after a walk. Take, for example, Uncle Suresh in Bangalore. He believed pomegranate juice every morning was the secret to staying strong. But after months, he noticed his knees felt stiff when getting out of bed, and long walks left him with soreness in his calves. He blamed old age until his doctor suggested cutting back on pomegranate. Within weeks, he felt lighter and his legs didn't ache as much. Another hidden challenge is that pomegranate is deceptively easy to overconsume. A single glass of juice might require the seeds of 2 or 3 whole fruits. That's a concentrated load of sugar and acid, hitting the bloodstream at once. For seniors, this can mean swelling in the ankles, joint irritation, or even worsening symptoms of arthritis. Now, does this mean seniors should never touch pomegranate again? Not necessarily. The key is moderation and mindfulness. Eating a few seeds sprinkled over a salad is very different from drinking a tall glass of concentrated juice. If you truly enjoy pomegranate, keep it as an occasional treat, not a daily habit. And always notice how your body reacts. If your joints feel stiffer or you notice unusual swelling, that's your body telling you to slow down. Pomegranate may be a jewel of nutrition for some, but for seniors, it can also be a silent trigger for leg pain and joint discomfort. Respect it, enjoy it sparingly, and you'll protect your strength while still savoring life's flavors. 4. Watermelon. When you think of summer, the first fruit that often comes to mind is watermelon. Light, juicy, refreshing. Most of us believe it's the perfect way to stay hydrated. For decades, families in India have served big slices of watermelon on hot afternoons, convinced it's nature's best gift against the heat. But for seniors over 60, this hydrating fruit may actually be quietly draining your strength. Here's why. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index. That means even though it tastes light and watery, it can raise your blood sugar almost as quickly as candy. For younger people with strong insulin response, this may not be an issue. But in older adults, where insulin control is weaker, these rapid sugar spikes trigger inflammation, especially in the legs where circulation is already slower. The result? Swollen ankles, stiff knees, and legs that feel unusually heavy after eating what seems like an innocent fruit. Let me share a story. Auntie Kavita in Hyderabad loved watermelon. She would cut a big bowl every evening, believing it was healthy and low in calories. But after months, she noticed something strange. Climbing stairs felt harder. Her calves cramped more often, and she woke up with mild swelling around her ankles. When she reduced her watermelon intake, those symptoms slowly eased. What she thought was just age was actually her favorite fruit working against her. Another hidden problem is that watermelon is easy to overeat. One slice becomes 2, then 3, and before you know it, you've consumed the sugar equivalent of several tablespoons. The body doesn't see water, it sees sugar and reacts accordingly with insulin surges, inflammation, and fatigue. Seniors often confuse the tiredness after eating watermelon with heat exhaustion, when in reality it's the body struggling with unstable blood sugar. So should seniors avoid watermelon completely? Not necessarily. The key is to eat it in small, controlled portions, preferably earlier in the day, and never on an empty stomach. Pairing it with a handful of nuts or some protein can also help slow the sugar rush. But if you find your legs swelling or you feel drained after eating it, that's a signal from your body to cut back. Watermelon may look like a symbol of hydration, but for seniors, it can be a sweet trap. Refreshing on the outside, harmful on the inside. By understanding its hidden effects, you can make smarter choices that keep your steps lighter, your joints calmer, and your mornings brighter. 5. Oranges. When people think of healthy fruit, the first picture that usually comes to mind is the orange. Bright, juicy, and full of vitamin C, oranges are celebrated worldwide as a symbol of immunity and vitality. For generations, parents told their children, "Eat an orange so you won't catch a cold." And many seniors continue that habit into their 60s and 70s, believing that a glass of fresh orange juice in the morning is the best way to start the day. But here's the shocking truth. While oranges are beneficial in many ways, for seniors over 60, they can sometimes do more harm than good. The hidden issue lies in their high acidity and natural sugars. Oranges are loaded with citric acid. For a younger person, the body can easily manage this acid. But in older adults, whose joints and tissues are more sensitive, citric acid can quietly irritate inflamed areas. If you already have arthritis, stiffness, or swelling in your knees or hips, the daily orange or orange juice may be worsening the discomfort without you realizing it. Add to that the natural sugar inside the fruit. Even though it's fruit sugar, the body processes it in the same way as any other sugar. Blood sugar spikes quickly, and when it drops later, you're left with fatigue, inflammation, and a heavy feeling in the legs. Over time, those small daily spikes can add up, fueling chronic inflammation that makes every step a little more painful. Let me share a story. Uncle Ratan from Mumbai was proud of his healthy lifestyle. Every morning for years, he drank a tall glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. He believed it was the reason he rarely caught colds. But as time went on, he noticed changes. His knees felt stiffer in the mornings. Getting up from a chair took longer, and his evening walks left him with a dull ache in his hips. He blamed age, thinking it was natural decline. But when his doctor asked him to cut back on citrus, something amazing happened. Within weeks, his stiffness began to ease and his walks felt lighter again. The healthy orange juice he trusted was quietly working against him. Another point to consider is portion size. Eating one orange with breakfast is very different from drinking juice. A single glass of juice may require the sugar from 3 or 4 oranges, but without the fiber. That fiber is important because it slows sugar absorption. Without it, the sugar rushes into the bloodstream almost as fast as soda. For seniors with slower metabolism, weaker insulin response, or diabetes, this can trigger joint pain, swelling in the ankles, restless nights, or sudden fatigue during the day. And it's not just the joints. High acidity can also affect the stomach lining. Many seniors already struggle with sensitive digestion, acid reflux, or gastritis. Drinking orange juice first thing in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, can irritate the digestive tract, leading to discomfort that carries through the day. So, what's the solution? Does this mean seniors should stop eating oranges altogether? The answer is no. It's about balance, portion, and timing. Moderation is key. A few slices of fresh orange eaten with other foods is much safer than a large glass of juice. Never on an empty stomach. Pairing oranges with protein or whole grains can buffer the acid and slow down the sugar spike. Listen to your body. If you notice increased stiffness, swelling, or digestive discomfort after eating citrus, that's your body's signal to cut back. Rotate your fruits. Instead of relying on oranges daily, mix in gentler options like pears, papaya, or berries, which are kinder to aging joints. Here's the bottom line. Oranges are not bad, but they may not be the right everyday fruit for people over 60. What was once a symbol of youth and health can become an acidic trigger for joint pain, stiffness, and fatigue as the body changes with age. By making small adjustments, reducing juice, eating smaller portions, and paying attention to your body's response, you can still enjoy the tangy taste of oranges without paying the price in aching legs and swollen joints. Sometimes, health is not about what we eat, but how much and how often. Seniors don't need to fear oranges, but they do need to treat them with respect. Choose wisely, eat mindfully, and you'll find that your mornings become lighter, your steps steadier, and your joints calmer. 6. Green apples. When you walk into a supermarket and see a basket of shiny green apples, they immediately look like the healthy choice. Crisp, fresh, and less sweet than red apples, they are often recommended for weight loss, digestion, and even blood sugar control. Many seniors proudly say, "I eat a green apple every day. It's the safest snack." But here's the hidden truth. For people over 60, green apples may not always be the friend you think they are. In fact, they can sometimes be a silent cause of leg pain, stiffness, and restless nights. The main reason is that green apples are rich in malic acid. This acid gives them their characteristic sour taste. For younger bodies, malic acid is usually harmless and may even have some benefits. But as we age, the lining of the stomach and the tissues in our joints become more sensitive. That means the acid in green apples can irritate both digestion and joints. Seniors often describe feeling a burning sensation in the hips, tightness in the knees, or aching in the thighs after eating apples regularly. At first, it feels like ordinary arthritis, but in reality, the acid is adding fuel to the fire of existing inflammation. Let's take the example of Auntie Shalini from Delhi. She believed green apples were her best choice because they were less sweet. Every night she would eat one before bed, thinking it would keep her digestion light. But after months, she began to notice cramps in her calves during the night, stiffness in the morning, and occasional pain in her hips. She assumed it was just age. Only later did she realize her nightly apple habit was part of the problem. When she switched to gentler fruits like papaya or pears, the cramps eased and her mornings felt lighter. Another hidden issue with green apples is sugar content. While they taste less sweet than red apples, they still contain natural sugars. For seniors whose metabolism slows with age, these sugars can cause blood sugar fluctuations. That means fatigue after meals, stiffness in the legs, and even nighttime muscle cramps. Combined with the malic acid, it's a double impact: irritation to the joints plus unstable energy levels. And there's more. Green apples are often eaten raw, straight from the fridge, sometimes even late at night. Unlike cooked or blended fruits, raw apples hit the body harder. Seniors who snack on apples before bed may find themselves waking with cramps, bloating, or stiff joints. The body spends the night fighting the acid and sugar instead of resting and repairing. Does this mean seniors should avoid apples completely? Absolutely not. Apples are still a nutritious fruit with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. The key is how, when, and how much. Portion control. Instead of eating a whole large apple, try half, especially if you're over 60 and prone to stiffness. Time of day matters. Enjoy apples earlier in the day, not right before bedtime. This gives the body more time to process the acid and sugar. Balance with other foods. Pairing apple slices with a handful of nuts or a piece of cheese can help balance the acidity and sugar impact. Rotate with other fruits. Seniors may find gentler fruits like papaya, pears, or berries more supportive for joints and circulation. The lesson is simple. Not all healthy foods are healthy for everyone at every age. What feels light and refreshing at 30 can feel heavy and irritating at 65. Green apples may look innocent, but for seniors, they can quietly contribute to aching joints, night cramps, and weaker legs. So the next time you pick up a crisp green apple, pause and ask yourself, how does my body feel after eating this? If you notice patterns of stiffness or discomfort, it might be time to adjust. By listening to your body and making small changes, you can protect your legs, improve your mornings, and keep your independence strong. Green apples are not villains, but they are not always the gentle friends seniors believe them to be. Choose wisely, eat mindfully, and your body will thank you with lighter steps and calmer nights. Seta Mango. If there is one fruit that brings joy to almost every Indian household, it is the mango. Sweet, juicy, and often called the king of summer fruits, mangoes are deeply tied to happy childhood memories, waiting for mango season, sharing slices with family, drinking chilled mango shakes. Even today, many seniors say, a summer without mangoes is no summer at all. But here's the difficult truth. For people over 60, mangoes can quietly become one of the most harmful fruits for your legs, joints, and circulation. Why? Because mangoes are a natural sugar bomb. One ripe mango contains a huge amount of fructose and glucose. While younger bodies can process this rush of sugar quickly, older bodies cannot. After 60, metabolism slows, insulin sensitivity decreases, and every sugar spike adds extra pressure on the body. The result is inflammation deep inside the joints, especially in the knees, hips, and ankles. Think about it. You eat a mango, feel refreshed and satisfied, but a few hours later, your legs feel heavier, your ankles swell, or you notice a dull ache when walking. This isn't just old age, it's the body struggling to manage the sugar load. Over time, these spikes and crashes make the pain worse, reduce flexibility, and even disturb balance. Let me share a story. Uncle Dev from Lucknow loved mangoes. Every evening during mango season, he would happily eat 2 or 3 at once, saying, "It's natural, so it must be good." But gradually, he noticed his feet tingled at night, his knees swelled after short walks, and climbing stairs felt exhausting. At first, he blamed arthritis. But when his doctor asked him to reduce mangoes, something surprising happened. Within weeks, the swelling eased, the tingling lessened, and he felt steadier on his feet. The fruit he thought was harmless was secretly fueling his discomfort. Another hidden problem with mangoes is their light, refreshing taste. Unlike heavy desserts, mangoes don't feel filling, so it's easy to overeat. A slice turns into half a mango, then a whole fruit, and sometimes more. Each portion adds more sugar without us realizing it. The body doesn't measure the joy, only the sugar, and for seniors, that sugar means more inflammation, more joint pain, and weaker circulation. Mangoes also affect the nervous system in subtle ways. Many older adults report tingling in the toes or burning sensations in the feet after eating mangoes regularly. This is linked to nerve sensitivity worsened by high blood sugar levels. Add swelling in the ankles and stiffness in the knees, and what was once a favorite summer fruit becomes a trigger for weakness and discomfort. So, does this mean seniors must give up mangoes forever? Not at all. Life should still have sweetness, but the key is portion, timing, and balance. Limit the portion. Instead of eating 1 or 2 full mangoes, enjoy just a few slices. Choose the right time. Eat mangoes earlier in the day, not late at night when the body is less active. Balance with protein or fiber. Pair mango with a handful of nuts or yogurt to slow the sugar release. Listen to your body. If you notice swelling, cramps, or tingling after mangoes, that's your body's way of asking you to cut back. The most important lesson is this: natural does not always mean safe for every age. Just because mangoes grow fresh from the tree does not mean they are harmless for seniors. A young person may enjoy them freely, but for someone over 60, they can quietly chip away at strength, comfort, and mobility. Mangoes will always be the pride of summer, but for seniors, they must be treated with caution. Enjoy the flavor, but respect the limits. 1 or 2 slices can give joy without harm, but eating freely, as in the younger days, may lead to more pain than pleasure. So the next time you see a ripe mango on the table, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do I want a few minutes of sweetness, or do I want stronger, lighter steps tomorrow morning? The choice is yours, and the right choice can keep your independence strong, your legs steady, and your summers truly enjoyable. So now you've seen the full picture. 7 fruits: durian, jackfruit, pomegranate, watermelon, oranges, green apples, and mangoes that look innocent, even healthy, can quietly work against seniors over 60. They don't hurt you right away. Instead, their effects are silent, slow, and easy to mistake for just aging. A little more stiffness in the knees, a bit more swelling in the ankles, legs that feel heavier after a walk. These are not always signs of getting old. Sometimes they are the whispers of the food you eat. The good news is, your body is always listening, always ready to heal. One small change at a time makes a difference. Choosing the right fruits, gentle ones like berries, cherries, avocado, papaya, and pears, can reduce inflammation, stabilize your blood sugar, and give you lighter, stronger steps. You don't need to give up all sweetness, you just need to be wiser with your choices. Remember, aging does not mean giving up control. You don't have to accept pain, swelling, or restless nights as your destiny. With mindful eating, you can keep your independence, enjoy your walks, and wake up each morning feeling refreshed instead of stiff. If today's message opened your eyes even a little, let me know in the comments. Type 1 if it gave you hope. Type 0 if you disagree. Share your experience because your story might help another senior just like you. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Together, we will uncover more truths that no one talks about, but everyone over 60 deserves to know. Stay strong, stay mindful, and never forget this: your independence is carried by your legs. Protect them, and they will protect you.